Hello, and welcome to this presentation about Conair MedLine equipment. This is a line of equipment built specifically to be clean room ready. Now, it's logical to ask when auxiliary equipment is needed for a new facility or just to upgrade an existing facility, why MedLine? Why would somebody choose MedLine? Well, MedLine equipment fulfills two important needs for medical device manufacturers. First, it's easy implementation by the user into their highly regulated environment. Conair understands this environment, and Conair does most of the certification homework for these medical processors. Second, all MedLine equipment is designed to meet compliancy specifications for medical processing. We do the homework, but we also make sure the auxiliary equipment that we produce under the title MedLine is ready for the medical processor to put to work. And here are some of the examples why the MedLine line of equipment from Conair is perfect for manufacturers of medical components that need auxiliary equipment. Of course, it's medically compliant with powder-coated white paint and cleanroom compliant material components. But it's also fully calibrated, and those calibrations are traceable, and operating parameters are tested to make sure the equipment does exactly what it is said it will do and can be proven. And of course, sanitation considerations and exhaust minimization or elimination make it ideal for clean room environments. Now let's take a quick look at the steps that we might take to apply MedLine equipment to a new or existing facility. The first thing we want to do is identify the equipment use location. Now, the reason we do this is to help Conair clarify the specifications. So when it comes time to modify the equipment or modify the installation requirements, we know what type of environment and to what degree of cleanliness we need to meet. So first, let's start with non-clean room use. Now, this might simply be for easy implementation into an existing manufacturing line for medical compliance. It doesn't have to be necessarily a clean room, because many people purchase MedLine equipment because it is already compliant and once again has a lot of the homework done to make it compliant, making it easier to implement. But it might be also for inclusion in a future clean room. Now, if neither of these two requirements need to be met, then standard Conair equipment will suffice. But if in fact we're going to use it in a clean room, we like to categorize it into four clean room types, and you can probably relate to these titles for your facility: a white room, an ISO 8 clean room, an ISO 7 clean room, or a hybrid clean room, which is a combination of other compliancies. Each one of these clean room environments, from white room all the way to hybrid clean rooms, have their own set of requirements, specifications, compliancies, and so forth. And we can better match the needs of that environment if we know the clean room location. On the slide, we see a couple of those instances here. On the left, we see, in the lower left there, we see a clean room using some Conair equipment on top of some molding machines. And off to the right, we see a clean room that is equipped at probably an ISO 8 clean room or 7 that has a gowning room. And once again, different cleanliness levels drive different installation requirements, and we like to know what those requirements are so that we can meet them. Once we know the environment for applying the MedLine equipment, we can clarify the MedLine compliancy with you. MedLine equipment provides compliance-ready specifications for easy implementation by you, the medical manufacturer. Now, this is not a greatly detailed list here, but we want you to know that we follow International Standards Organization, ISO, FDA, ICH, the International Conference on Harmonization Compliance, and also the Code of Federal Regulations, or CFRs. Now, for greater detail, once we quote a system or a piece of equipment, we will provide a list of medical manufacturing compliancy codes with that quote so that you are assured that we are meeting the needs of your medical requirements. And just to put some teeth in those requirements, here's some details for you to talk about some of the compliancies that the equipment meets. Number one, factory calibration. Sensing devices that are critical to the equipment operation are calibrated with certified measuring instruments to verify that the equipment provides optimum performance. This is above and beyond making sure that something works. We say that it will work the way it says it will work, and we provide a calibration certificate saying exactly that, when it was calibrated, who did it, and when it will need calibration again. We also provide that same type of identification with a label that actually goes right on the equipment. And so this is really covering all the bases on calibration. And here are some pictures of those calibration documents. The sticker on the left that is placed right on the equipment, who calibrated it, when, and when it will be due again. All very important for medical compliancy. And along with that comes a certificate of calibration signed by the individual that did that. Now this calibration certificate, a copy of that, is actually kept in the files at Conair that can be retrieved at any time for any customer that has a piece of MedLine equipment. Now you can feel free to stop the recording at any time and go through these lists in more detail, and we'll just bounce through this quickly. ISO conformance documentation. ISO drives a lot of the way companies like yours work, and this equipment complies to that exactly. The IQ checklist. This is an installation qualification checklist. This is produced by Conair and included with every piece of equipment to make sure that it is installed correctly. Same thing with the preventive maintenance checklist. This is something that is required by most regulations, and it is provided by Conair and is provided specifically for each piece of equipment. And here are some quick snapshots of those qualification checklists, one for installation and one for maintenance. And once again, these come with every piece of equipment that is required to qualify for compliance. But we go further, and we also maintain revision control of all critical documents. In this case, we're showing a picture of a spec sheet, one of our advertising brochures, and we have document control on this so that as revisions are made, we keep track of them, but most importantly, the claims that were made at the time of purchase are traced, and those are able to be retrieved at any time by Conair. Here's one of the special considerations that's made on the equipment itself, something we call exhaust minimization or elimination. We take care to understand the requirements of clean rooms and also those pieces of equipment that have discharges. Either they're slight discharges from pneumatic valves or maybe a larger discharge from a dehumidifying dryer. But we take care to make sure that that is minimized or eliminated. We use water-cooled chillers instead of air-cooled chillers, for instance. Vacuum valves used for resin conveying can be remote mounted outside the clean room. Additional hardware may be provided for routing moist, hot, or particulate exhaust air from the clean room as required. But we also make sure that we provide low throughput, our low throughput equipment minimizes the exhaust to acceptable ISO levels. For instance, on our little micro wheel dryer there, the discharge from that dryer will not upset even the most stringent requirements of an ISO 7 room. So that is an overview of our compliancy through MedLine. Now let's select equipment. Well, the best way to do that is to start with the MedLine brochure. This is a brochure that Conair has produced about our MedLine line of equipment, but it's a great place to understand how MedLine equipment will fit your medical manufacturing requirements. If your Conair representative has not already supplied you with this brochure, it can be ordered easily through ConairGroup.com. And you'll see right on our home page there, you can simply click to order your own copy of the Clean Room Ready MedLine brochure. Spec sheets are readily available to overview MedLine equipment in various areas, which we'll talk about here in a moment. Now, these detailed MedLine product spec sheets provide valuable application details, and they're supported by equipment application guides. And so you can select the proper equipment and options. The MedLine line includes over 170 different products for you to select from. As the material handling leader, Conair has an extensive line of MedLine resin conveying equipment, including vacuum receivers, pumps, dust collectors, automated material switching stations, controls, and so forth. Our line of dehumidifying dryers are really second to none and go all the way from very large high throughput dryers, usually located outside of a clean room of course, all the way over to machine mounted miniature dryers that can fit right on the molding machine or extruder throat and provide superior dehumidifying for low throughputs common to medical manufacturing. Dehumidifying drying systems are also quite popular in both hopper and dryer and loading system mounted portable units or central hopper designs that use a single dryer to provide dehumidifying air to multiple hoppers. Conair's line of blenders, gravimetric styles, batch and continuous, can also be equipped with complete loading systems for totally turnkey blending of critical ingredients in critical quantities. Or perhaps your blending needs only call for the metering of a single component right at the throat of the molding machine or extruders, and Conair's TrueFeed fulfills that bill with a touchscreen. Conair provides a complete range of temperature control equipment. Something that is commonly located inside the clean room, though, are these temperature controllers. And lastly, the range of Conair downstream extrusion equipment is very, very extensive, with hundreds and hundreds of very satisfied customers around the world. Conair is quite the innovator in downstream equipment made for precision medical tubing. And remember that all these products are only a few of the over 170 products that Conair produces in a medical fashion for quick inclusion into a clean room environment. So now that we've selected equipment and it's been built, it's now time for shipment and delivery. Well, the first thing that Conair does, the equipment has all of its documents, all of its control documents recorded and permanently stored in a document control repository, and this is once again kept on file permanently and allows the user, you, the buyer, to access those documents at any time for further changes, revisions, and so forth. As the equipment is prepared for shipment, tested, calibrated, and so forth, a calibration certificate, IQ checklist, and periodic maintenance checklist are actually included with each piece of equipment, and that is part of a packet that you will receive along with the equipment instructions and so forth. This is something that really satisfies medical users because, once again, most of the homework is done by Conair. Now, if it's a single piece of equipment, you'll receive that quickly in a very predictable fashion, as Conair is known for. But perhaps it's a larger order. It's something that includes an entire system that might need to be installed, that might need to work with the clean room environment. Well, we can put our project services team to work to provide you with a project manager, who is your single point of contact to provide you with a system specification, the expectations of your project, a flow schematic, a timeline management service, scope of work documentation, installation drawings, project records, and of course, expert installation. And then additional design engineering if required, and this many times is to meet those specific needs that we talked about at the beginning when we talk about the different needs of different clean room environments. For instance, we might have to make special bulkheads for getting material or dry air in and out of the room, cable penetrations, and so forth. But you can also depend upon Conair for seamless integration with your processing machines and seamless integration with your clean room and the infrastructure of your business. Your success is our success. Now, it's very logical at this point that you may have questions both about all the medical compliancies that you wrestle with every day, perhaps categorizing your clean room environment. Well, we have some help for you. Meet Matt Zelkovich, Conair's General Manager of Medical. There's Matt's phone number and his email. Matt has over 28 years in the industry, with over 10 years focused directly on engineering of Director of Research and Development of medical products and facilities. I'll bet that sounds familiar to some of you. So he has the qualifications, he has the knowledge to help you through the world of compliancy and also the world of getting your clean room up and running and making sure that you meet all of those requirements. Your Conair representative or anybody at Conair can help you with your equipment needs, but Matt is specially trained and is here specifically to serve you with all of your compliancy issues associated with medical manufacturing. I hope this has been an instructive tour of Conair's MedLine equipment, the clean room ready equipment. We thank you very much. Please take note of our website there and also our phone number. Feel free to call at any time and put our services to work for you. Thank you.